guys, welcome to this Tutoring by Trace video on how to solve for a missing side of a special 30, 60, 90 right triangle. So in this video, we're going to be looking at two examples of special 30, 60, 90 right triangles, and we're going to be solving for the missing sides. Now, there are different types of special right triangles. There are 45, 45, 90 triangles too. These rules that we're going to be talking about in this video do not apply to those. There will be a new video about 45, 45, 90 triangles, hopefully this week. I'm not totally sure. So check that out and use those rules when you're doing 45, 45, 90. Let's get started. So this is what a 30, 60, 90 right triangle looks like. So the shortest leg right here is x, and the longer leg is x radical 3, while the hypotenuse, is 2x. And so those are the rules that you have whenever you're trying to solve for a side. So if you know what one of the sides is, let's say that you know what x is, and if you know what x is, then you can solve for what this side is or what the hypotenuse is. So again, the long leg is x radical 3, the short leg is x, and the hypotenuse is 2x. So let's try using these rules in a problem. So here is an example 1. So we have right here that the shorter leg is 5, and we're looking for the longer leg, b, and the hypotenuse, c. So we're looking at 5 as x, b is x radical 3, and c is 2x, which is our next step. We want to label the sides. I think if you label the sides, it's going to be a lot easier for you to be able to connect all the sides together. It's almost like a puzzle, and if you have the different puzzle pieces written out, it'll be a lot easier for you to plug them in as we work through this equation. So there we go. 5 is x, b is x radical 3, and c is 2x. And there's always this cheat sheet over here, so check that if you ever need a reminder. So the second step, what I always like to do, I like to identify what I know, and what I need to know. So what we know is we know that x is 5. That's what we know. And what we need to know is we need to know what b and c are. And can we find out what b and c are knowing that x is 5? Yes, we can. As long as you know what one of the 3 sides of this special right triangle are, you can figure out the other 2 sides super easily. So we know that x is 5. So the next step is we want to plug in what we know into the other 2 equations for the other 2 sides. So we're going to want to plug in 5 is equal to x into x radical 3 and 2x. So we'll have 5 radical 3 is equal to b, and 2 times 5 is equal to c. So then we can simplify that, and we get our answer that b is equal to 10, and c is equal to 5 radical 3, or 8.66. Most math teachers will want you to leave your answer with the radical rather than multiplying it by the radical. It's a lot cleaner. I had to round to the 10th on 8.66, so it's not as exact. So I would definitely leave it in the radical form, but I just included the shorter decimal there. So here's example 2. Sorry, it should be example 2. And so on this one, we know that the hypotenuse is 16, and we see that the short leg is x, and the longer leg is y. So this one's going to be a little different because we aren't given x. We have to solve for x as we go. So again, we're going to want to start off by labeling the sides. Like I said, x is equal to x, LOL. X radical 3 is equal to y, and then 16 is equal to 2x. So again, we want to identify what we know and what we need to know. We know that 2x is equal to 16. We know that. What we need to know is we need to know what x and y are. And x is equal to x, and y is equal to x radical 3. So now we want to solve for x. So if we take the equation up here that we know is true, 2x is equal to 16, and we solve for x, by dividing both sides by 2. Remember, order of operations, you want to divide. So you divide both sides by 2. And remember, we not order of operations, you want to keep both sides equal. So if you do one thing to one side, you have to do it to the other side, and you want to isolate the variable on one side. So you have to divide 2x by 2 to get it just x equals the value. Which gets us x is equal to 8. If you divide 2x by 2, which is equal to 16 divided by 2, x is equal to 8. So now that we know that x is equal to 8, we can plug x into the other equation. So since we know that x is equal to 8, we know that this side right here is 8. And we know that this side's 16. So now all we have to know is y, what the value of y is. So if we just plug in 8 into x radical 3, that gets us 8 radical 3. And then, so there we have our other side. And then there's our answer. We have x is equal to 8 and y is equal to 8 radical 3, or 13.86. Again, you want to keep it in the radical form, most likely, but there's a decimal form, and that is rounded to the 10th. Thank you guys for watching this video. Follow Tutoring by Trace on Instagram and Facebook. Subscribe for more videos. Comment with any questions or additional help you may need. Watch out for that 45-45-90 special right triangle video that will hopefully be coming out this week. If you haven't already, go back and check out my Pythagorean theorem video. I apologize if there were any sound issues. I know in my last video, the mic was popping a lot, and I'm sorry if that happened in this video as well. Thank you guys so much.